Hello everyone, welcome back to Tadowski's Shelter. Today we're going to do a topic of farm building. I know some things have changed since some of the farm building videos I've seen, so we'll discuss those and we'll kind of go over it. We'll start from ground zero and all the way to base 19, which is the general recommendation for a proper farm. However, you can stop at 16 if you want. But I feel 19 is a sufficient area and gives you the freedom to move around the cabin, so to say. It's actually very easy and we'll discuss it all. I'll tell you all the minor requirements that you'll need and how to go about it as quickly as possible. Remember, like the video if you like the video, comment for other topics, and subscribe for more content. Well, let's start this off. The first thing we need to do in order to start a farm is to create a farm account. What does that mean? Basically, what you need to do is create another account with another email so that you can make another base. I would not suggest using a character. Do not create another character, and I'll tell you exactly why. Creating another character means you have to constantly swap from your main base or whatever base is under that name to another one. It's not convenient for people, and the easier way is to just constantly switch accounts. If later on you want to have someone help you or anything like that, giving them your character is going to be giving them whatever bases are associated with that account. So that means you're basically giving someone access to your main base if you create a farm account under a character name that's associated with your main base. So go ahead and create a new email. You can do that any number of ways. I'm sure you know how to do it. And once you do that, come back to the game and start a whole new base with that account. You're going to want to bind it to that email, and then you'll be off to the races. So once we start a new base, it's not going to be in the state that you're currently in or the state that you want it in. So the first thing we need to do is move that farm base to the state you want it in. Now, you can do this only before level 6. If you play the game in the beginning, you know that there's a lot of forced clicks that they want you to do things, and by the time you realize you're done all their things and you can go out into the world, you're already at level 7 or 8 and you're past that point of a free transport to any state. So around level 4 or 5, once you build your radar and you could look outside your base, make sure that you are getting out of the forced clicking by clicking anywhere else multiple times. If you do that, eventually it will kick you out of the forced clicking and allow you to click somewhere else. Zoom out to the radar, zoom out to all the states, and then go to the state you want to go to, teleport your farm account that's probably a base 3, 4, or 5, and teleport it to the state that you want it in. This is important because once you get past a base 6, you will not be able to teleport that base. You will have to then fall under the whole migration thing, and that may not even be available in your state at this time. Make sure you are moving that base. I had a hard time learning this in the beginning, so I can't stress this enough. I had to go through quite a few bases and restart a few times. Once you get all that done, the base is in the state you want, you have it under a new account, and all of that jazz, then you can start the building. Now, as you build, you should know that the first 10 base levels are going to be quick and easy. You're probably going to hit base 9 and 10 within a day, if not a couple of hours. But once you get past that point, it becomes a little trickier, and there are some key things to note that should make this travel easy and should make it quick. So we'll talk about it. We'll break this down easily. The first thing we'll talk about is buildings. Okay, this will be your building guide. What do I need to build? What do I need to upgrade immediately? And what should I focus my resources on? Now, the game is going to have you build a ton of different structures. Some of them are not even going to be usable or shouldn't even be focused on until later on, if at all. The main things you need to build and keep upgraded at all times are going to be your houses, your ration truck, and all your resources. Keep them all at base level. Every resource. I know some people will only upgrade one farm to the level that the base is at. I recommend you do them all. And the only reason I recommend you do them all is because it will give you more resources overall so that you can move faster. It really doesn't take that much as you progress, and if you keep everything level, it'll keep everything at a nice steady pace, and it will also give you more buildings to upgrade to meet hourly challenges, which will be another thing that will help supplement your resource storage and make you upgrade faster. The other things that you must keep upgraded: your wind turbine and at least one power plant. Make sure at least one power plant is at base level, and I'll tell you why. One of the biggest things that people have a problem with, especially with newer bases, is electricity. Most people don't want to pay for the arm supply, so you don't get that extra income of electricity, but there is a little bit of a trick, and I know I talked about this in another video slightly, but we'll talk about it again here. So make sure your wind turbine and at least one power plant is fully upgraded to the base level. You're going to build one hospital, only one, and make sure it's level 9. One of the minimum requirements is to have a hospital level 9. So the sooner you can do this, the smoother the whole transition can go. You will also have to make sure all your level 1 warehouses to level 10, and I would go ahead and recommend building the level 2s, but not upgrading them, just building them. This will ensure that as you get to the higher level bases, you already have the cap past the point that it's needed. So this will keep you moving and grooving as you progress through this whole thing. There's also a few other buildings that do have a minimum level they should be before you can upgrade your base. I'm going to tell you those now so that as you're upgrading, and if you have those buildings already built, throw those in the mix as well, so that you're not trying to build one building from level 1 all the way to a level 15. That'll hold you up. If you can work those in sporadically throughout your upgrades, this should help make you move a little bit quicker and get you to base 19 faster. The base will require some structures be at a minimum level before you can upgrade to the next level. Most commonly, we see the ration truck. The base will need the ration truck to be at the same level in order to go up to the next one. However, sometimes you will get a pop-up saying this building needs to be at level blah before you can go to the next level. Those structures are going to be as follows, and I'll try and go in order. The first one is going to be your shooters, your shooter training facility. They're going to want that at level 13. The next one is going to be your embassy, which is going to be level 15. Then at 16, you're going to have vehicle and defense hall. They're going to have to be at level 16 in order to go to level 17. And the reason I bring this up is if you work these in as you're upgrading your bases, then it won't be as long of a wait to upgrade to the next level. Embassy can take a lot of resources, especially the higher it gets. So the sooner you can start working that in and getting it upgraded, the quicker the whole process will be. The last building that I want to talk about that you should keep up with is going to be your banks. Okay, you're always going to want to make sure that your banks are on level with your population so that you can get the maximum amount of money that you can get. Money is going to be a big issue in upgrading. It's probably going to be more of an issue than iron. So if you can make sure that your banks are on the same level as your population, you don't go higher than that population gap, you will have 100% cash efficiency coming in. And that is the goal that you want. The most amount of money that you can make at any given time is what you should be focused on. How do we do this? Well, if you go to the top right of the screen and you click on the money symbol, you'll be able to pull up a screen and it'll tell you your bank efficiency. Now, your bank efficiency says how much percentage of the above number are you actually pulling in. And that number is based off two things, the electricity and your population. If it says the efficiency is 100%, but it's based out of 87,000 people, but you have 200,000 people in your base, you can upgrade your banks a little bit higher. So make sure that those numbers are sort of close together so that you can get the most amount of money as possible. Because like I said, and I can't stress this enough, cash is going to be a hard thing for a lot of people when they're trying to upgrade quickly. It's going to be easier to get the other resources than it is going to be to get cash. There's some recommendations for structure levels. One of them is going to be the Institute. The Institute should probably be a minimum of level 4 for normal new states. And if you have zone commemoration, make sure it's a level 8. Another suggestion is that your Hero Hall, your management station, and your military academy are all level 10. It's not required, but your management station is going to allow you to place dev heroes so that you can boost your resource income, and that is going to help you in the long run. Your Hero Hall has to go with your management station and your military academy, and your military academy is so that you can get medals so that you can upgrade your development heroes. All of that kind of intertwines. A level 10 is a good place to be. A level 10 will allow you to put most of your heroes in to boost your income as much as possible. Another recommendation, your garrison. Now, this is 100% optional up to each person, but it would be recommended that you at least boost it to a level 4. And the reason being is that the garrison will put more durability on that farm so that you can hit it 1 or 2 more times to ensure that you're completely draining your farm as much as possible so that you can get every resource that you need. The last suggestion, and this is more for when you get to base 19, is that you stop upgrading your level 2 warehouses around level 3 or level 4. And the reason being is a level 3 or level 4, level 2 warehouse. I know it's a lot of levels being said there, but your stage 2, let's call it, to break up the monotony, your stage 2 warehouse will be a good number for looting, and it won't be too much that your troops cannot take before burning the entire farm down. But as for anything else, ignore every other structure. Do not upgrade your radar. Do not upgrade your bunks. Do not upgrade other hospitals. Do not upgrade anything else that you have. There's a common mistake, and we'll talk about this at the end, but do not upgrade any other structures besides the ones that I have told you about. Everything else, it's a distraction and it's going to hang you up a lot longer. So just ignore them and focus on the required buildings and you'll get to base 19. Once you hit base 19, you can go and do whatever you want to do. But the main goal here is to hit 19 so that you have the freedom to move things around or upgrade what you want. 19 is a good area for people to customize their farms how they see fit. 2 issues that people face. The first one, electricity. Now, we've talked about this in another video, but we'll talk about it again here. You will need electricity to upgrade your bases. If you are always at 0 because you do not have enough electricity in your inventory, then you will not be able to upgrade your base. So to combat this, 1 power plant that's at base level and your wind turbine to be at max level as well, and fill the power plant once a day. This should always ensure that you are in the green or close to the green, and filling the power plant will put you over the line so that you will still have electricity being stored if you happen to be under or the wind turbine can't keep up. However, there is a little bit of a boost you can get here, the biotech lab. Once you open up your biotech lab, the only development buff that you should be focused on initially is going to be the electrical output one. You are going to want to max that one out as soon as possible. After that, you can max the rest out. But initially, the only one you need to max out immediately is going to be your electrical output. It gets overlooked so often, and it is the one thing that will hang people up big time from moving their farms to where they need to be. The goal here is to make it as easy and smooth as possible, so let's just do that. Making sure your electricity is always plentiful is good. You shouldn't be hitting this farm until it is ready anyways, so leave everything be. The other suggestion that you can do is to move all the structures off the road. Get them all off. Have them stop using electricity, except your resources, your houses, your warehouses, and that is because disconnecting any of those will affect your resource income, your resource cap, and moving the houses off the road and taking them out of the electrical loop will lower your population immediately. And then you have to get it back by filling your ration truck again and doing all that. So leaving those types of structures alone will keep that flowing. I would also suggest leaving the banks as well. That's another thing that could lose resources now, as opposed to what was told in the past. So leave all your resource buildings connected to your electrical grid. Leave your houses and leave your warehouses all connected to the electrical grid. Everything else can come off. As a matter of fact, there's a little bit of a trick here. You can move any training facility onto the grid so that you can train new troops and then immediately move it off, and you will still be training those troops and you will not be using any electricity. Upgrading a structure, you cannot move structures that are being upgraded. However, you can disconnect the roads that supply the electricity. They will still upgrade even if they do not have electricity. So these things will help keep your electricity in the green as opposed to going into the negative. Now, how you specifically want to do this is completely up to you, but these are just recommendations to help you move along the path quicker. Ignore your APCs for now. This is something else that people get distracted with, heroes and APCs. This is a farm. Don't worry about your APC for now. Worry about the APCs once you hit base 19. Once you hit base 19, you can build all your bunks, you can upgrade whatever heroes you want, and you can gather all the time. But all the bunks are doing is sapping your electrical grid and using resources to upgrade things that you don't need to do right now. So worry about your APCs later on. The other major issue people come across is cash income. Cash income is going to be, as I said, harder than probably some of your resources. So I'm going to repeat what I said earlier. Check your bank income screen. Make sure that your population is as close to the actual population as possible. Keep that number at 100%. Keep it coming, keep it flowing, and you'll be good. Even if you have to use a commercial hub to keep money coming in, do that, but don't focus too much on that commercial hub, because that's also going to waste resources and it's going to waste electricity. Also, doing your clash of zones or your hourly challenges will help ensure that you have cash income. Make sure your banks are as maxed as they can be without putting you in a bad situation. The next topic we'll talk about is tech requirements, okay? This is actually an easier one. People see tech and they think, man, I don't know what to do here. This is actually really easy. There's only one technology that you need to upgrade immediately, and that is going to be the city development tech. That's going to be the second one, the middle one in the top row. And you don't even have to do the whole thing. You just need to go to halfway. Right after the cash income increase development, you can stop. Any other tech is going to be a waste of resources and it's going to be a waste of time. The only other tech that you will need to focus on is going to be the zone commemoration tech, because that will bring in more resources as you do more challenges. So if you have zone commemoration, I would suggest that you throw every medal into it and upgrade it as much and as fast as you can. If you don't have the medals to upgrade something in zone commemoration, don't upgrade anything else until you hit base 19. Last topic for farms. Classes is a big thing for how fast you get your farm up and ready. You have 4 classes: farmer, raider, celebrity, and architect. Architect was not around till fairly more recently, which is a good thing for you, because architect in the beginning is going to be the biggest benefit to starting you on the right path. That is my opinion. However, it is a general opinion. You should never choose farmer for a farm. Don't do it. It's not going to do you any good. It will give you a little bit of a boost in resources, but not enough to make a difference. The biggest difference is going to be in the beginning, architect. And then later on, if you want to switch to trader. Trader at the end is going to be a better benefit to you. Architect in the beginning is huge benefit to you. If you look at the class book with all the tiles and upgrades and the buffs that you can get, being able to take 15 minutes off of your construction, lowering the construction cost and increasing how much time gets taken off every time an alliance member helps you, will drastically speed up your upgrading. Architect in the beginning is huge, and you will need an APC for that because you got to send them out for the national mission, but that's really all that should be. And once you put those cards in places for those buffs, you should be moving. You can take off a ton of time and save a ton of resources in upgrading if you do architect. The alternative is trader. Now, trader in the beginning is probably not as useful in my opinion, because the only things that it really helps with is the troops, fuel, and food consumption, which is great, but I'd rather have the speed ups in construction in the beginning. And then later on, it will increase your score for Clash of Zones, which can be huge. If you're not focused on Clash of Zones, or your Clash of Zones tech is not where it should be, Trader probably isn't the best option for you until you can get that done. Architect is probably going to be the best thing for you for the majority of the time you're starting your farm, and that is my personal opinion. Raider just doesn't make any sense. You're going to lose the ability to create more resources so you can raid. That doesn't make any sense. That farm base should not be raiding anything. So Raider is completely out the window. Farmer is just a horrible choice because the protection cap makes it harder for you to get your own resources out of it if you need it. So being a farmer is not going to be as beneficial. So that would be the last thing I would suggest. And that's it. Now there's going to be some remembers here, okay? Because some tips will help you along the way and help get it a little bit further. But just to remind you, try to do as many hourly challenges as possible. And if you can do the Clash of Zones, if you have it available, do that as well. That will increase the amount of resources that you will get that will help you move everything along. Use your diamonds and speed ups. Use your inventory. Use it up until you get to base 19. If you can upgrade something, use it. Don't worry about surplus. Why? This is not a secondary base. People, I think, forget this, and they get so attached to whatever they're building that they forget what the point of it is. This is meant to be a farm. This is meant to be something that you don't even look at, you barely even touch, and you can hit it whenever you need resources and upgrade whatever you need for your main base. This is not meant to be something that is strong. It's not meant to be tough. It's not meant to be anything else other than it's a savings account, basically. And I think people forget that. They lose that train of thought, and then they start investing themselves in it. And so they start focusing on combat technology, and they start investing on making their APCs max heroes. So they have to go through the entire APC technology branch, and all of that is just a waste of time. Get to base 19, upgrade your resources, upgrade your warehouse, boom, done. Let it sit. Start another one if you want, however you want to do it, because the game is meant for a main base, not for a farm. So these distractions will just prolong your farm being ready and being used. Try and get it done as soon as possible. Hopefully this helps you. Farming is a great tool. You need to make sure that it is being utilized and it is doing what it's intended to do. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you took something away from this. If you have any questions or concerns, you have a different outlook on it, you have a different viewpoint, you saw something I didn't mention, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for more. Till next video, I hope you guys enjoy your week and have fun. Till next time, be safe out there.